it's Culture Me, episode 2, Stereotype. And today it's a great pleasure. We have Jay, Christina, and Masha with us. So would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
So I'm Jay, I'm from the UK and I study applied linguistics.
I'm Christina, I'm from Ukraine and I study TESOL.
I'm Marsha, I'm from Brazil, São Paulo, applied linguistics.
Welcome everyone, and I'm Maggie. Today I'm a hostess and also a participant. I'm from China. And so in terms of stereotype, how do you understand this word and what's your definition towards it?
It's kind of an idea about someone or something that is not true anymore. An idea, opinion about someone or something that is not true anymore.
So can I understand that in your dictionary it is a negative word?
Well, usually yes.
Yeah. What about Jay?
I think a stereotype is something, it's like a perception that we have about a certain kind of person, which could be true, but sometimes we take that perception and use it to describe a whole set of people. Yeah, that's a stereotype for me.
Yeah, that's nice. I think it's a type of conceptualization of somebody, the representation of somebody, but from just one perspective, and usually generalizing this type of person as the whole society.
Yeah, so let's say what if I say Latin American girls, they are insane. They don't wear clothes and walking on the street. Is it stereotype to you, to your ears?
Yeah, in a way, some part of the population raised this question you were doing right now, because in a way some people, they go towards this type of attitude and then it is generalized for the whole society. So there are lots of people that cannot be included in this type of perception.
So what if I change another way? I say, well, do you know that Latin American girls are amazing? They wear bikini, they are so hot, walking on the streets, paradise. So does it sound like a stereotype now?
Kind
To
of.
you?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So no matter it is, it sounds like negative or positive, but it's just part of a story. You would think it is stereotype.
Yeah, usually when it's something positive, of course, it sounds much more like a compliment. Then it doesn't come with that negativity in a way. So
Yeah.
it's our preference to accept. But when it's something negative, it really hurts the person.
I think it's still a perception that you've taken and generalized to an entire community, but I think there are positive and negative stereotypes, and the positive ones are definitely nicer.
Yeah. So I refer to the Collins English Dictionary, and it says that stereotype is a fixed general image or set of characteristics that a lot of people have, represent a particular type of person or thing. So I would prefer this definition because it's kind of neutral. And allow me to put Jay on the spot.
Oh no.
So what kind of stereotype you hold towards British people or British culture before you came here?
Well, actually, this is not my first time in the UK, but I know what kind of stereotypes many other Ukrainians who have never been to Ukraine, to the UK may hold. Like, first of all, many of them might think that all British people may be gentle and polite. They may always say excuse me whenever they touch you in the street. Yeah, well, yes, many of them do, but still, that doesn't mean like everyone. Another stereotype is that all British people are snobby and judgmental, like too royal. I mean, hello, there are many, well, I don't know, kind ones as well. Or another thing that all British people enjoy, enjoy tea or fish and chips, or this is practically the only thing that they eat. And it's also a stereotype. Many British people enjoy different kinds of food, not just only fish and chips. So you have to be careful.
So where did you get this information?
Well, first of all, I got this information from many books, from many people who are Ukrainians. Actually, I heard these ideas even from those people who are not just only from Ukraine, but from other countries beside the UK and Ukraine, like Germany, for example, Spain, China. So it kind of depends.
So what kind of stereotype you still hold today? You still think yes, they behave like that way, and you would tell your friends.
Well, actually, I don't hold any of these stereotypes anymore because I can see clearly that it depends on each person individually. Sure, there is a British person who enjoys fish and chips, but there's also a British person who prefers sushi. Sure, there is a person who is snobby, like, I'm the best just because my country has a queen. And not just only the president, whereas other may say, what's up, I'm friends with everyone. It kind of depends on everyone individually.
And Masha?
Yeah, I've heard someone saying lots of bad things about British people. There are the good ones, like punctuality, the tea, fish and chips, but there are many related, like saying they're rude, they don't like to take shower, and those things.
Really? That's something new.
Have you heard that? This is horrible.
But I heard
That's
that
something
from
new.
Yeah, but I heard that from a lecturer, and she said that the British teachers, they would say that French people don't have a
Yeah.
shower.
It's crazy.
So people around the world don't have shower. So that's a kind of
It
popular
goes the same
stereotype.
level.
Yeah. When you hate someone, just say they don't have shower. So is that true? You don't have shower?
I shower every day. Just a
But wait a
disclaimer.
second, maybe they meant that many British people prefer taking a bath instead of showering.
Really?
Maybe they meant that.
Yeah.
Or going to spa, and lying in a jacuzzi. I mean, they never smell, do they?
I hope not.
Oh, for example, I'm sitting right now next to a British person who he smells nicely. Really nicely.
Oh, thank you.
Hey Jay, what kind of perfume are you wearing? I kind of like it.
So Jay, I'm kind of thinking, I think you know some of the stereotypes towards British people. The first of all is fish and chips. To what extent is it true or not?
I think that one's very true. Everybody here, we just love fish and chips.
You do?
Yeah, we love it. I don't think any other as far as my knowledge goes, I don't think any other country quite does fish and chips like Britain does. It's very
There is
specific.
just here.
Yeah.
It's something
Yeah.
very particular from
Yeah.
here.
I actually met one person, it was years ago. If I'm not mistaken, she was somewhere from Winchester, just like you. But she told me that she didn't like fish and chips at all because you can gain weight when you eat them too
Oh
much.
yeah.
She prefers eating healthy food.
It's
They
too
love
oily,
curry,
right?
British
No,
people also
really.
love Indian curry.
Oh, we love Indian curry.
Yeah.
Indian takeaway is like yes.
What do you think are the top 3 food in Britain?
Top 3 like
Is fish and chips one of them?
Obviously.
I would say so. Yeah. Top 3 like takeaway foods in Britain. I would say Chinese, Indian, fish and chips.
Oh, right. So fish and chips is all right. It's not a 100% stereotype. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Some people might not like
Can
it,
be.
but I think most people,
Yeah.
we love it.
And number 2 is all British people are polite, conservative, or you can say stubborn. Is that true?
I don't know. I think it's probably true to an extent. I try not to be an impolite British person.
It's trying to be neutral, yeah?
This one time I was teaching a group of Spanish teenagers and they were really high level of English, like B1, B2. We were talking about the divorce rate in England. And I said, why do you think the divorce rate's so high? And they go, because you're miserable. Because you guys get no sun. I was like, great, thanks guys.
That's one of the stereotypes.
Oh right, and then another stereotype that like it always rains in Britain.
Yes, yeah,
People take umbrella everywhere they go.
It's a
Umbrellas,
total
coats. I
lie.
take a coat every day, even if
Yeah.
it's like bright and sunny outside.
Yeah.
'Cause
No
it's- yeah.
way. I've been to Britain in summer, not just only in winter. You get so much sun.
Yeah.
It's like no problem at all. No cold
I think
sun.
the weather
needed.
here is just like really unpredictable. So even though it's like sunny in the morning, it could be like pouring down with rain at night time, and
It's
it's
just like some foreigners think that it's freezing cold in Ukraine. No way! Especially if you go somewhere to the south, like Crimea or Odessa, it's very hot, very hot. Even during winter, the temperature is much higher if you rather than the one if you go somewhere in the west.
So it all depends on the actually individuals and the part of the country. Yeah. So what are some popular misconceptions other foreign guys hold towards your own culture, like in Ukraine and Brazil? Jay, do you have some misconception? I don't say misconception. What do you think of Brazilian people? What are the first 3 words you come up with in your mind?
I was actually thinking about this on the way here because I think we hold this assumption that Brazilian people are quite like, very like liberal and very free and very like relaxed and laid back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's so
Or like
polite.
party people. I think you guys have really good parties.
It's kind of similar to Italians.
No?
I know
Yeah.
Italians are often very relaxed and very loud. I've actually had experience with this. There are very few Italians that are, you know, quiet at least.
Yeah, but a great percentage of São Paulo, the city I come from, it's made from immigrants. So we have lots of Italians. My grandfather was Italian, so that's why. Maybe that's why you have this conception about partying. You know.
But all Brazilian people like partying every day?
Yeah, barbecue, party, drinks,
So it's-
some beaches. That's why I think it's this image of a hot girl is associated with Brazilian girls, because we have Rio de Janeiro, Copacabana, the girl from Ipanema.
Yeah.
So then it's very associated with our culture. And I'm sorry to have someone having this misconception that, I mean, we can come to the level of seeing this person inside this concept of a vulgarity. This doesn't come to me, you know, because we like partying, we like going to the beach, but there are lots of people who are very respectful, are very nice citizens, etc.
I actually remembered about another stereotype, but actually it doesn't only include British people. It includes all people, all nations whose first language is English. Like something like they don't want to learn any other foreign languages because they think, oh, everyone knows English, everyone speaks English, so why do I have to learn Spanish or Chinese or Russian or Ukrainian or any other language?
I was speaking to a French woman where I work a while ago, a couple of years ago, and she was like, oh, English people, they're so lazy with foreign languages. I was like, I know.
Yeah, but also because one of my lecturer, Richard Keeley, and he once mentioned that there is a decline that for the British boys and girls in the schools, they refuse to learn a second language because they think, why bother? Everybody's speaking English. Yeah?
Yeah, I know. I think that's sad. I think...
Are you still thinking like this?
Well, I think a lot of people think like that. I think learning a second language is such an important thing because it gives you like a second outlook on the world. It's a different way to like see everything. But yeah, I think a lot of people, I think we're just really lucky that English is the majority language. So I think a lot of people take that for granted and get lazy.
You know,
English as a
honey,
lingua franca,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everybody.
that's the one, yeah.
you know, honey, you could actually go to Miami. About 60% there speak Spanish, and about no, sorry, not 60, but 80, and about 60 or even 70% don't know English at all. I was really disappointed about that when I went to Miami. Although it is USA, not Brazil or Spain. So trust me, you should learn something else besides English, like maybe
I
even
speak
Spanish.
French. I speak French.
Ooh, bonjour, monsieur.
So speaking of, and speaking of stereotype towards Ukraine, so would it be Christian? Would it be offensive if someone take you as a Russian people and say, "Are you from Russia?" Would it be very offensive?
Kind of, yes, because I mean, we have been an independent country for almost 30 years now, and I mean, still, well, yeah, sure, we are still a young country, but I mean, still many foreigners think that our national language is Russian, or even if they do know about Ukrainian, they think that it's the same, that it's just a dialect, and it's rather offensive because sure, there are some similarities, because if you study linguistics, you know that any language belongs to a certain group, like there's a group called Slavic languages. Yeah, and it includes not just only Russian and Ukrainian, but also Bulgarian, Polish, Croatian, and many others, Belarusian, which means that yes, these languages have some similarities, but they also have far too many differences to call them dialects or to call them the same. Well, I always... Anyway, that's why I prefer to ask where you're from rather than are you from Russia, are you from
That's a very great
China?
tip. Yeah. you're from China.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a very great tip when you meet with some people who is from different countries, but do not just judge whether he or she is from a particular country. Yeah. So, what are some stereotypes you have towards Chinese people?
Very intelligent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
like
smart.
very,
You're
like-
too light.
No,
But
I
what
think like,
if in a negative way, what would some kind of a stereotype you hold about it?
I haven't got any negative ones, to be quite honest to you. I've heard something like, I think they spit when they are gonna shake hands. I've heard something like
oh
this.
yeah.
And like business cards when they are changing. And so I've heard something like this, or they burp when they are eating, or something like this.
Yeah.
I've heard someone saying something like this. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm
That's
sorry if I'm wrong.
interesting. But it's very is it offensive or
In my culture, it is.
unacceptable if you burp on the table?
Yeah, it's not acceptable in Brazil because
So what would you do if you can't have it?
Just
we
explode.
leave. We leave. Sorry,
Well, you could say sorry or excuse me. That would already be like.
Rather than explode.
Oh, actually, I know that there is this kind of a stereotype about Chinese people, like all of them eat only rice, or everything has to be connected to rice, otherwise they won't eat it at all.
It would be more connected to Japanese people
Yeah,
to me.
I was thinking.
Is it?
Think?
Yeah, I think rice is the main dish in China.
But still.
You
Yeah.
eat dogs, those things.
Dog, not really. Most of the parts, people raise dog as their pet and they treat it very well. But I mean, it's a very long history, and might there some places which is not very developed. They have a kind of a habit of eating dogs, but it's not, or it's not all the culture like that. It's part of China, yeah, and.
I think you've got more positive things, more pros than cons.
Yeah, I think.
For
I agree.
example, you've got like beautiful culture, a millennial one, so you influenced the globalized society in a way. We don't understand much about your culture. We, people from Western society, do not understand much about your culture. What is a great mistake, let's say, we should learn more about, but we always see you as something like magical, mysterious, that we want to learn more. Some of us would like to visit you. You have those type of cuisine that's amazing, could be some exotic and spice at some extent. So I think it's more positive, usually because we don't know much.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't have any negative stereotypes for China. I have like great food, really intelligent people, and like a beautiful language that I wish I could speak.
I know that it's not just only beautiful, but it's also rather difficult,
Yeah, yeah.
especially the smell.
Yeah, and actually, I was took when I took a Uber kind of the transport, and the Uber teacher, the Uber driver, they would say that, well, I loved driving Chinese girls, but they are shy. Do you think that Chinese people are very shy?
I think that is
They
a
are.
stereotype. Yeah, I think
It's a
I think
stereotype
both
also.
Japanese and Chinese we think of as quite shy. Yeah.
And also like Asian girls, Asian people in general is associated with this characteristic of being shy, and also like beautiful hair for women.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Sometimes I feel like maybe it is because of personality, but sometimes people are not just so comfortable or confident with another language. If you're just learning Spanish, you may also feel shy speaking out that language. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for everyone, and I would like to quote Dr. Gallen, professor in the Northwestern University, how he defines stereotype, and he says that stereotype is an energy-saving device. It happens because it is easy, but it is also cheap. So while we are making decisions, it is better to know the rationale behind it and to know all parts of the country or the culture in order to make wise decision. Okay, so thanks for watching today's show and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.